The alien starship Varney's Echo floated at the edge of the known galaxy. Commander Threx Callan, a tall, silver-scaled officer of the Valari species, stood on the bridge in silence. His 4 black eyes studied the glowing star charts before him. Every part of the galaxy was marked, mapped, or explored except one. A region no one dared enter. A place simply labeled Terran Expanse Restricted. Final coordinates received, said the ship's AI route plotted. Destination, Terran border, Sector 001. Threx exhaled slowly. Around him his crew shifted nervously. Everyone had heard the rumors about Earth, about the last war, about what happened when the galaxy tried to conquer humans, and then silence. No human ships, no colonies, no communication in over 200 years. The humans were believed to be extinct. Still, no one went near their space until now. Take us in, Threx ordered. His voice was steady, but his claws tapped the rail unconsciously. Stars ahead looked darker than normal, as if the void itself resisted being seen. The ship moved slowly, cutting into uncharted space. Within minutes, the sensors began blinking. "Sir," said LT Vanu, the sensor officer, "we're picking up something. Metallic, human?" Threx asked. "Yes, sir. Satellite fragments. But some of them are still operational." The crew leaned forward. The main screen showed hundreds of satellites floating silently. Some spun, broken, others still blinked with old Terran code. One of them turned slowly as Varney's Echo Pastan pointed directly at them. "Was that movement random?" Threx asked. "Unknown, sir." No response to hails. "Log the position. Move forward." They traveled deeper. The stars became strange. Distances shifted. What looked close was suddenly far. What was far blinkered and reappeared nearby. Navigation systems lagged. Time readings were inconsistent. Then the ship trembled. A low hum passed through the hull. "Gravitational anomaly detected," said the AI. "Something's pulling us in," said Engineer Drex, "but it's not gravity, it's like memory." Threx narrowed his eyes. "Explain." "The readings look like gravity waves, but they're repeating like echoes. Not natural." "Continue scanning." "Bring us closer." "To the signal source." After 20 more minutes, the comms officer, a young Valari named Juno, turned pale. "Sir, I'm picking up voices." "What kind?" "Human." The crew went silent. "Patch it in." Static filled the room. Then, faintly, whispering, "Turn back, not meant for you." Then silence, then again. "They remember, they never left." Juno shook her head. "I didn't tune to any human frequency. It just came through." Threx looked at the old Terran satellite. Ahead of them, it was blinking. Very faint, but consistent. A beacon. "Prepare an exploration drone," Threx said. Minutes later, a small drone launched from the bay, speeding toward the blinking satellite. As it approached, something strange happened. The beacon turned toward it intentionally. The drone's feed showed a rusted plate bolted to the surface of the beacon. Faded letters in ancient Terran English. The crew translated it together. "This system protected by Project Dusk. Do not proceed. They are still here." A cold chill swept the bridge. Sir Juno whispered the beacon. "It's transmitting again." Threx leaned forward. The screen lit up. A single, clear message. No encryption. No tricks. Just one phrase, repeating over and over in perfect Terran voice. "Do not proceed. Do not proceed. Do not proceed. They are still here." Then, all at once, the stars blinked out. The screen went dark. The crew screamed. The ship's lights flickered. Something passed through the hull, not physical, but felt like an old memory that didn't belong, like a presence that watched, like something ancient. And then, all systems came back. The screen showed stars again, but the beacon was gone, that as if it had never been there. "Sir," Juno whispered again. "We recorded everything, but the data's disappearing." Threx looked at her. "What do you mean?" "The warning, the satellite, the audio. It's all being deleted automatically, even from backups." Everyone turned to Rex. No one said it aloud, but they were all thinking the same thing. Something doesn't want to be found. Threx stood straight. "Log manual notes. Use paper if you have to." He turned toward the dark region of space now directly ahead. "We continue." Cliffhanger ending. As the ship entered deeper into Terran space, unseen by the crew, another satellite powered on it had no lights, no transmissions, just a sensor. Watching, recording, and inside it a faint voice whispered, "Another one enters. Another memory begins." The crew of Varney's Echo has just witnessed a Terran beacon vanish. The ship's logs were erased. Something is watching, but Commander Threx decides to continue deeper into the uncharted void of Terran space. They're about to find something far worse than silence. The air on the bridge felt heavier, not because of gravity but because of what just happened. The warning, the voices, the vanishing beacon. Even now, Juno sat silently, holding a blank notepad paper as ordered, sketching symbols she didn't remember drawing. Commander Threx stood tall. "Status," he said, his voice sharp. LT Vanu's voice was low. "There's something else ahead. Another object, but it's big. Show it." The main screen zoomed in. A large vessel drifted slowly through the darkness. Its hull was scratched, covered in burns, but it still floated somehow intact. The computer tagged it. Designation: Terran research vessel. Cenotaph status: no life signs. No transmissions. Threx frowned. Cenotaph, he repeated. It means empty tomb. The crew prepared. A boarding team, they launched a shuttle toward the wreck. As it neared the derelict Terran ship, the lights inside Varney's Echo flickered again. The ship's AI stuttered briefly before returning. Echoes of the past, or something else. Inside the wreck, the airlock creaked open. First Officer Varak, along with 2 technicians, entered the Terran ship. Their boots echoed in the long, empty halls. Everything was still. Too still. Dust floated in the air. Rust crept across metal walls. Wires dangled from ceilings. And yet, the power was still running. Very faint, barely alive. They reached the bridge. Screens were cracked, but one was still flashing a message. Recording mode active. Orion Vale, Stage 3 complete memory index locked, user restricted. Varak moved closer. Stage 3 of what? He muttered behind them. A door opened by itself. They turned. No wind, no motion. Just an empty corridor at the end of it. They saw a figure standing in the shadows, unmoving. Varak lifted his scanner. No readings. He stepped forward. Hello, we are Valari explorers. Do you need aid? No answer. The lights above. The figure flickered. Then came a whisper. Not from the figure, but from the walls. Memory holds everything. Everything that ever bled. Suddenly, the lights shut off. All of them. Total darkness. Only the flickering light from Varok's helmet remained. He turned around. The corridor was empty again. The figure was gone. Back on Varney's Echo, Juno clutched her headset. Commander, I lost their signal. The whole feed just shut down. Recall them. I can't. They're not responding. The Discovery. Varak and his team found a sealed chamber near the lower deck. On the door, a symbol, a Terran insignia, a circle, with a line through it. Inside, a single word in their ancient text. Remember. The room unlocked by itself as they approached. Inside was a long, sealed pod like a stasis chamber. A human lay inside, frozen, still, eyes open. His skin was pale, but not decayed. A breathing tube still ran into his mouth. Impossible, whispered Varak. No power system could last 200 years. One of the technicians pointed at the pod's panel. It's not running on power, she said. It's running on data. Varak blinked. What? The pod feeds on information. Memory. It's alive. Through memory. Suddenly, the human inside moved. His hand twitched. His eyes blinked slowly like someone waking from a deep dream. He turned his head and looked straight at Varak. And he spoke in perfect Valari tongue. You shouldn't be here. Back on the ship, Juno jumped from her chair. Commander, new transmission. From the Cenotaph. No, from us. She pointed at her screen. It's coming from inside our ship. Auto broadcast repeating. Threx stepped forward. The screen showed only one message. You have been seen. You carry what they left behind. Proceed and become memory. Then, it turned black. And a single blinking dot appeared on the galactic map deep inside the Terran expanse, pulsing. Waiting, sir, Vanu said softly. I think they want us to come. Threx didn't blink. And what waits for us there? No one answered. But the human aboard the Cenotaph did. Cliffhanger ending. The stasis pod unlocked with a hiss. The human stood. He was calm, slow, cold. He looked at Varak and the others. Then toward the sky above. You opened the archive, he said. Now it will open you. He closed his eyes. And across space, every screen aboard Varney's Echo changed, showing ancient human war footage. Flames, screaming, collapsing cities, and the words, Orion Vale, online. Aboard the derelict Terran ship Cenotaph, the crew of Varney's Echo has awakened a human from a sealed pod. He speaks their language perfectly. He knows their systems. He remembers something. But the problem is he's not supposed to remember anything, or worse, he remembers things that never happened. The human stood inside the dimly lit chamber, his bare feet on the cold floor. His breathing was slow, controlled. First Officer Varak pointed his scanner at the man again. No readings, no vitals, no ID markers, no age estimate. He's not dead, but he's not alive the way we are, whispered the technician beside him. Can you speak? Varak asked calmly. The man looked up. Yes. What's your name? Silence. Then, a low voice. I don't remember. My name. Varak nodded. How long have you been in stasis? Time doesn't work here the way you think it does. Why were you on this ship? The human blinked slowly. To be forgotten. Back on Varney's Echo, Commander Threx paced the bridge. Juno's screen was flickering again, this time showing repeating fragments of audio logs from the Cenotaph. Log 0143. We've entered the Veil. This place, it doesn't obey physics. Log 0160. We lost 6 minds today, not Bodhi's minds. They wandered off into thought and never came back. Log 0201. We're sealing the sleeper. He holds the map. If they come for it, they'll pay the cost. Then, silence, followed by a final log. If anyone finds this, turn back. Mapping Earth was a mistake. Inside the Cenotaph, the human walked slowly through the corridor, followed by Varak and his team. He touched the walls gently, like someone revisiting an old home. Everywhere he went, the ship's lights responded, glowing warmer, brighter. He's linked to the ship's systems, the tech whispered. Or the ship is linked to him, Varak replied. Do you remember this place? He asked the man. The human stopped and looked at a cracked screen. Not his memory. More like a dream I can't wake up from. Suddenly the ship trembled. An alert sounded aboard Varney's echo. We're being scanned, said Varnu. Not from the cenotaph. From somewhere else where I can't locate the source. Commander, it's scanning our dreams. Threx turned sharply. Explain. I don't know how. It's not physical data. The scan's bouncing between neural patterns grew. Members are seeing images. From Earth's wars, Juno spoke up, her eyes wide. Sir, I saw cities burning. A flag I've never seen. Children in gas masks. And something in the sky. What did you see? A word. She swallowed hard. Orion Vale. Back on the derelict ship. The human stopped walking. He turned to Varak. Your commander is curious, he said. Yes. That's dangerous, Varak tried to stay calm. Why? Because curiosity is how Earth died. Earth is gone. The man looked away. Not gone. Hidden. Where? Everywhere memory exists. Varak didn't understand. But the man kept speaking. Project Orion Vale. It wasn't a weapon. It was a choice. We chose not to be seen. And now, the ones who try to look start to forget themselves. Suddenly lights across the cenotaph flickered red. The human froze. Something's coming. What is it? They're not alive. Not machines. They're echoes. Echoes of what? Echoes of Earth. Commander Threx heard. The same alert on his ship. Proximity warning, Varnu shouted. Ships appearing on long-range sensors. How many? I don't know. They don't stay still. They appear, then vanish. Like reflections. The screen blinked. 3 ships shaped like Terran warcruisers hovered for just 1 second, then gone. But for that 1 second, the comms filled with a voice. Not one voice. Many. Male, female, child, old. Thousands saying the same thing. You opened the map. Now you will be remembered. Varak sent an emergency signal back to Varney's echo. Commander, we need extraction. Now. But the signal scrambled halfway through and then came a reply in it from Varney's echo, but from inside. Their own suits. Too late to go back. You're part of the story now. The human looked up at the stars through a broken viewport. You think this is space, he said. It's not. What is it then? It's a library. Of what? Of what happens when the galaxy tries to erase something and fails. Varak looked around. His team stood frozen, eyes wide, minds spinning. One of them began whispering in ancient Terran English words they'd never learned. Another began drawing Earth's continents on the wall using their own blood. What's happening to them? Varak asked. They're remembering, said the human. Remembering what? Things they never lived. Cliffhanger ending. Back on Varney's echo. Commander Threx ordered emergency jump prepped. The ship began charging its FTL drive, but something changed in the star chart. The exit route vanished. The computer now displayed only one path, a blinking line, leading deeper into the Terran expanse. A new destination appeared on screen, not in coordinates but in a word. Home. Commander Threx stood at the front of the bridge, staring at the star map. There was no mistake. The galactic coordinates were gone. Every known marker erased. The system offered only one direction now. A glowing thread of energy pointing forward. Destination. Home. Varnu. Threx said quietly. Is this Terran code? No, Commander. It's not written in any language we recognize. The ship just knows what the word means, like it was pulled from our own minds. The bridge lights flickered. Something shifted in the air. The crew felt it, as if they had crossed a border, but no one had seen it happen. Below deck, the human walked silently down a corridor of Varney's echo, escorted by security drones. But the ship didn't resist him. Doors opened before he touched them. Lights turned on as he passed. Even the oxygen levels adjusted to suit his body. He paused near a viewing window. Outside, the stars were wrong. Not missing, just different. Familiar constellations were twisted, bent, or mirrored. Time itself felt slower. The crew noticed hours passing inside the ship, but the external logs read only minutes. Juno ran another scan. Sir, I think we've entered some kind of temporal field, meaning time inside this region moves differently, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, and distance. She stopped, pointing at the screen. Look, a massive object now floated ahead, dark, cold, metallic. A Terran station, a weapon no one could tell. That wasn't there before, said Threx. I checked 2 seconds ago. It wasn't, Varnu confirmed. The object pulsed, like it was breathing. Bring us closer, Threx said slowly. As Varney's echo approached, static filled the bridge, not on the COMMS. In their ears. Can you hear it? Juno asked, eyes wide. It's whispering. What is the ship? That station. It's remembering us. The human stood at the edge of the bridge now, silent. He looked at the object ahead. His voice was quiet. This is where it began. What is it? Threx asked. The first archive before Earth died, before memory became a weapon. What does that mean? The man turned. You think death is the end of a species. But Earth didn't die. It made itself unforgettable. It became a story so strong it broke into reality. The object outside the ship began to shift. It unfolded, not like a machine opening, but like a mind-blooming panels peeled away to reveal images, projected memories, human cities, warfields, children, laughing, a Terran supercarrier rising from a burning ocean, a blue planet, slowly fading into light. The crew watched, frozen. One of the junior officers began crying. He didn't know why. Suddenly, every screen aboard Vani's Echo went black. One line appeared: "You have been indexed." Then another: "Orion Vale recognizes you. You may approach." Threx's heart pounded. "Approach what?" he whispered. The object pulsed, gained in from its side. A gate opened. Inside they saw what looked like space, but wrong. A second layer, a different color, a place that was not a place. "This is the Veil," the human said behind him. "The Orion Veil?" Threx asked. "Yes, a layer of existence built from memory, emotion, story, the final defense of Earth." "Why let us in?" "Because. Now you remember." Threx hesitated, but he knew they had no path back. The ship's exit protocols were locked. Every attempt to turn around was overwritten by the same command: "Finish the map." And so they entered. Inside the Veil, the ship passed through the gate. The stars outside vanished. Now the viewports showed only shapes, not space, not color, not light, just ideas given form, floating memories. One looked like a battlefield frozen mid-exp. Another looked like a child's drawing of Earth. A third looked like a classroom deserted, floating upside down in blackness. The crew stared in awe. No one spoke. Even the AI was silent. The ship's logs stopped recording automatically. The human moved to the center of the bridge. He placed his hand on a console. It responded in like it had for any other. "I can take you to the center," he said, "but you must not speak when we arrive." "Why?" asked Threx. "Because if you speak, the archive might listen. And if it listens, it might tell you something you could never forget." Suddenly, a warning flashed across the screen. "Intrusion detected. Non-Terran minds approaching. Hostile. Not remembered to be erased. Enemy ships." Threx turned to Vanu. "Scan." "What's approaching?" I don't know. They're not in this space, and yet they're here. They're minds, not ships." Juno stood up. "Commander, I think the archive is calling them intruders, not us." "Then what are we?" he asked. The human answered, "Your readers." Cliffhanger ending. The ship halted. They reached the center of the Veil. Before them floated a giant sphere, larger than a star, glowing with ancient symbols and shifting faces. It wasn't a machine, it was Earth's mind. A collective memory field containing every life, every war, every feeling from human history. It pulsed once. And a voicemail female. "You said, I want to put a video on YouTube channel on already existing video title, so I want to make video on that title. So you will help me here for generating the new title with existing titles same nature." Sense ASOS signal was sent. What arrived terrified the entire galaxy. HFY Sci-Fi Story. Keep in mind that he title meaning should be the same as well as SEO optimized for my stories YouTube channel. 5 titles and every title made suspense on audience. ChatGPT said, "Absolutely. Below are 5 suspenseful SEO optimized YouTube titles that keep the same tone, nature, and meaning as your original title." Original title ASOS signal was sent. Arrived terrified the entire galaxy. HFY Sci-Fi Story suggested titles. They sent a distress call. No one expected what answered. HFY Sci-Fi Horror Story builds suspense by hinting at an unexpected, terrifying response. An emergency beacon was triggered, then the stars went silent. HFY Sci-Fi Story implies something so dreadful responded that even space went quiet. They cried for help, but the thing that came wasn't human. HFY terrifying sci-fi tale heightens mystery and fear by teasing a non-human arrival. A signal reached deep space and something ancient answered. HFY Sci-Fi Thriller evokes cosmic horror and an unknown, powerful entity answering the SOS. One planet's last plea. What answered shook the galaxy to its core. HFY Sci Story drives up drama and tension with emotional weight and galactic scale fear. Would you like me to write the hook and outline for one of these titles? You said Mujay, third-person style. My YouTube channel HFY Sci-Fi key outlines BNAK dosakti, or asidenia yopela apene usenaq. Story K start limit 2 minutes Ka, asi hook or subsense create karna K duan. Sari video dakimapko srif title provide crew 8 parts. My story complete karn. They sent to distress call. No one expected what answered. HFY Sci-Fi Horror Story. Interesting banhu, or every part interesting. Huna chaya ordnance bureau. Nihuni chaya simple basic English. Use Karniha or simple English workarna had used ChatGPT, said Zur. Niche main op K die gay title. They sent a distress call. No one expected what answered. HFY Sci-Fi Horror Story K Li. 8-part story Ki outline di rahahun har part suspenseful high. Simple English main lika gaya high or har part kahukitna strong high kie audience video chore karnahija aji style. Third-person narration basic English only. Easy to follow 5 to 7 minute story content per part. Horror plus sci-fi suspense theme. Each part ends with a mini cliffhanger or twist. Part 1. The signal hook. The mining planet Kalos 7 goes silent. No comes, no ships leaving. No updates for 72 hours. From deep under the planet's crust, one last emergency SOS, escape scoded and broken. A Terran listening post far on the edge of human territory. Here's the faint ping. Technician Maya, Lean listens closely. The signal repeats. But there's something else in it, not just a cry for help. Something is whispering behind the static. Cliffhanger. Maya boosts the audio, her face turns pale. Something on Kalos 7 is answering back. Part 2. The ghost planet Hook. A small recon ship TNS Sparrow is sent to investigate. A team of 4 Terran Marines and 1 civilian Xenon arrive. They expect silence, but when they land, lights in the mining facility flicker on by themselves. No bodies, no blood, just tools dropped mid-task, meals uneaten, doors still open. The place looks lived in, like everyone just vanished a minute ago. Cliffhanger on a wall, freshly drawn in black smears. Don't listen to the echo. Part 3. Something below Hook. Lieutenant Harrow leads the squad down into the mine. They follow power lines still active into darkness. Equipment is intact, but strange things appear. Tunnels that weren't in the original map. Symbols drawn in circles, pulsing faint light, a constant echoing knock. But no source. The xenolinguist, Dr. Kale, recognizes the patterns. They're trying to speak, he says, but not with words. Cliffhanger. One of the soldiers vanishes. No sound, no warning. Only his voice plays through the comms. I see it now. It's beautiful. Part 4. It watches Hook. They return to the surface, but the ship is gone, burned, melted. Useless CCTV from the mining base replays. Strange images. A tall, thin figure standing behind people, only seen in one frame each time. Like a shadow slipping between moments, the survivors begin hearing things, whispers, names. Each one hears their own fears, their own memories. Cliffhanger. Maya stares out the window. Her reflection doesn't move with her. Part 5. Mind breach Hook. Dr. Kale reveals something terrifying. The entity isn't just watching them, it's learning from them, reading their thoughts, memories. It speaks now, mimicking voices of loved ones. One soldier shoots at a shadow. The bullet hits the wall, and behind it, they find a hidden tunnel, drawn inside the walls. Images of humans, faces twisted, open mouths, and beneath it, a message etched in steel. We called it by name. Cliffhanger. Kale whispers, I think it knows Earth exists now. Part 6. Contact Hook. The team splits. Harrow and Kale descend further while Maya and the others search for power to signal a rescue. Down below, Kale finds the core chamber. Floating above Eton alien sphere, pulsing, breathing. Kale reaches out his hand, burns without fire. Above, Maya finally gets a signal out, but instead of sending it, something answers before she transmits. Cliffhanger. Maya receives a full Terran emergency code, except Earth never sent it. Part 7. The truth beneath Hook. Kale is no longer speaking like himself. He tells the team, this place wasn't just a mine, it was a prison. Thousands of years ago, ancient Terrans or something close buried something alive here, a being made of sound, memory, and fear. The miners dug too deep. The signal wasn't a warning, it was a door. Cliffhanger. The alien sphere shatters, and all of them hear one clear sentence inside their heads. Now, I am free. Part 8. Echoes across the stars. Hook. The remaining survivors rush to the old mining comms. They try to warn Earth, but the signal keeps looping back. Erupted. Kale stares up. It's already on the network, everywhere. The entity doesn't need ships, it rides sound. One by one, systems across Terran space begin to blink offline. Back on Earth, a young child plays near a radio. A strange whisper comes through. Final line, she turns to her mother. Mummy ... The voice says it's coming home. Opjahan to main ha part ka. Full episode script 1001-200 words be lik shok to hoon batayak his part say shiruk korenu, said the mining planet Kalos 7 goes silent. No comes, no ships leaving, no updates for 72 hours. From deep under the planet's crust, one last emergency SOS escapes coded and broken, a Terran listening post far on the edge of human territory. Here's the faint ping. Technician Maya Lean listens closely. The signal repeats. But there's something else in it. Not just a cry for help. Something is whispering behind the static. Cliffhanger. Maya boosts the audio, her face turns pale. Something on Kalos 7 is answering back. 1200 words. Kaleko or interesting huna chaya or third person style malekniha or simple basic English kayus kana hachachGPT said. Absolutely. Here is part 1 of your HFY Sci-Fi horror story titled, They Sent a Distress Call No One Expected. What answered? Part 1. The signal approximately 1200 words. Third person style. Simple English. Kalos 7 had always been a quiet planet, mostly rock, dust and heavy mining. It wasn't beautiful, it wasn't rich with life, but it had something rare: core stone, a material used in high-grade starship drives that made it valuable and dangerous. Over 400 workers lived there. Engineers, miners, supply crews, all monitored by orbiting satellites and daily check-ins with Terran command, until, one day they went silent. No calls, no logs, no shipments, not even a simple ping from the station beacon. Day 1, Earth's outpost flagged the silence. Day 2, a message was sent. No reply. Day 3, they considered it a communications blackout. Hour 72, a sound reached the edge of known space. Terran, listening post, Theta 6, edge of outer human territory. Technician Maya Lean sat alone in a small metal room, half buried in ice. The post was cold, remote, and always quiet. She liked that. She was reading a data report when her comms console blinked one faint signal. She leaned forward, puzzled. It was weak, broken, like it came from deep underground. She activated filters. "Let's clean you up," she whispered. It was in SOSA classic distress code from a mining base. The source tag, Kalo 7. Maya's brow furrowed. "Where have you been?" She boosted the signal. The static cleared a little. The code was old style, but clear. "Mayday, Mayday, Kalo 7, system failure, unknown presence. Please help. The, you're not dead. They watch from below. Do not." Then it cut off. Maya froze. She replayed it, listened again, but this time she heard something else. Behind the coded voice, deep in the static, there was a second sound. A whisper, faint, inhuman. She couldn't make out the words. She activated her internal AI Salcom. Analyze secondary audio signature. Analyzing signal contains overlapping sound pattern, not consistent with known languages, not background noise, repeating in rhythm. Translate, unable. Pattern resembles voice, possibly non-human. Maya stared at the waveform on screen. It moved like something alive. Not a machine error. Not natural noise. Someone or something was trying to speak through the signal. She sat up straighter, heart thumping. Something didn't feel right. Kalo 7 was a mining colony. There were no alien species nearby, no enemy movements, no ancient ruins, no warning. Vani's echo drifted in deep space. 2 passing scanners. It looked normal, hull stable, crew alive, systems green, but nothing was normal anymore. Inside the ship everyone was quiet. The voices of the crew were softer, their eyes distant even. The AI hesitated before speaking, as if it, too, had seen something it couldn't unsee. In the medbay, Officer Juno sat alone, staring at her hands. She kept hearing things, not voices exactly, just echoes, sounds of gunfire, a woman screaming, a lullaby in a language she didn't know. She looked at her reflection in the glass and whispered, "That wasn't my memory." But somehow it was. Commander Threx met with the crew in the central hall. "We've returned to our space," he said, "but I won't lie to you, Earth did something to us." He looked around. "We are carrying memories that are not ours. Some may be dreams, some may be warnings. But make no mistake, this knowledge is changing us." He paused. "And now we must ask, what do we do with it?" The first to answer was Varnu, "Sir. If we tell the galaxy what we saw, they'll never believe us. Some will panic. Others will call it Terran propaganda. But the ones who understand," he swallowed, "they might want to use it or destroy it." Juno nodded. "Knowledge this powerful can't be trusted to everyone. Not even us." And yet something had already started. Across the ship, devices began self-replicating data. Terran code, sealed and unreadable, was now inside their computers, and no one could delete it. That night, a low vibration pulsed through the ship. An engine hum, a heartbeat, the lights dimmed, and a single message played across every screen: "Remember us correctly, or not at all." Far from Vani's echo in the Krell Empire, sensors picked up fragments of strange transmissions. They traced it back to an alien ship re-entering charted space. Aboard the Krell Warrum, General Vostel watched the feed. "What is this?" he barked. "Unknown data streams, General," his officer replied. "But some contain human language." Vostel's face hardened. "Humans are extinct, sir." "Then someone has resurrected their stories." The next day, Threx tried to contact Galactic Command. He composed a full report. He left out nothing. He sent it. The reply came in 6 minutes. "Access denied. Report flagged as corrupted. You are ordered to undergo debrief and memory cleansing. Remain in place. Authority vessels inbound." Threx stared at the screen in silence. Juno looked at him. "They want to erase us." "No," Threx said. "They want to erase Earth." The human still on board finally spoke. After hours of silence, he walked into the bridge. He had changed to his posture, his voice, his presence. He no longer seemed like one man. He felt like many. "They will come," he said, "to silence you, to kill me, and to destroy what Earth left behind." Threx faced him. "Then what do we do?" The human smiled faintly. "Finish what they started." In the cargo bay, a console unlocked itself. A file labeled "The Last Flame" blinked. Inside it, a signal, a Terran distress beacon from 200 years ago, encrypted, forgotten. "And now, ready, play it," Threx said. The voice of a Terran woman spoke. "If you're hearing this, it means the Veil chose you. You carry Earth's memory. And now, the second story begins. You are the seed." Suddenly, systems across Vani's echo began activating. A new mode appeared. Archive spread protocol. It had one goal: transmit Earth's story to the stars, to every race, every world, every corner of space. But if they did this, they'd mark themselves forever. "Commander, if we broadcast this," Juno said, "they'll call us traitors." Or Mad Vanyu added. "Or worse, said the human. "They'll try to bury you with us." Threx stood tall. He looked at his crew. He looked at the screens. And he made his choice. Let them come, let them try to silence ghosts. He pressed one command, Terran's mighty cliffhanger ending. 1,000 Terran voices filled the air. The past came alive. Across space, worlds began receiving fragments of Earth's final days. Not just sound, but feeling, pain, glory, defiance, humanity. And at the edge of Krell territory, another ship picked up the signal. An old cruiser, rusted but alive. Inside it, a stasis pod flickered on. A human hand twitched, and a whisper escaped the pod. "Is it time?" Not from allies. From warships. For Krell battlecruisers entered the system, heavily armed, no signals sent, no warnings. They weren't here to talk, they were here to erase. Aboard the Varni's Echo, Commander Threx watched the tactical display. "They're locking weapons," Juno said. "No hails. None. They're treating us like a virus." "We are," Vanu whispered. "To them, we're infected with Earth." Suddenly, the Echo's lights dimmed. The human, calm eyes closed, spoke softly. "You gave Earth a voice again. They want silence." He opened his eyes, but the story is already out. Across the galaxy, Earth's final transmission spread like fire. On a research moon in Sector R4, alien children wept after hearing the lullabies recorded before the final fall of Earth. On a pirate ship, a captain paused mid-raid to listen to the cries of a Terran soldier shielding civilians. On a distant world, a synthetic intelligence watched the Terran flag rise again, inside its own code. And deep beneath a forgotten asteroid, Terran sleeper units thought, dead, began to wake up. Back in the system, the Krell opened fire. Missiles screamed. Toward Varni's Echo, Threx braced, shields up. But before impact, the missiles vanished, not destroyed. Forgotten. A wave of static spread from the Echo, not electromagnetic, not physical, but memetic. The memory of the missiles was erased, not from the crew, from reality. The Krell panicked. "Sir, what just happened?" Juno asked. "They fired," Threx said. "But the ship Earth story it made them never happened." The human nodded. "The story is writing itself now. You're not just passengers, you're characters, and Earth doesn't let its characters die without meaning." The ship pulsed again. Outside, symbols, Terran war sigils glowed across the hull. The Krell sent one last transmission. "We will not let this virus spread. Prepare to be deleted." The Echo did not fire back. It simply remembered, and in a flash, the Krell ships saw it, their own destruction. Future battles lost, their home world burning from inside. A Terran shadow, unmoving, watching from every memory. They screamed, they turned and fled. They never returned. Hours later, the ship finally rested. The crew sat in silence. What had started as a map mission ended in a transformation. Sir, Vanya whispered. "We survived." "No," Threx said. "We were rewritten." The human stood in the center of the bridge, but now, he glowed faintly. "Light, data, story. It's time," he said. "You must return home." "What about you?" Juno asked. "I was never one. I was all of them. Soldiers, mothers, builders, dreamers. Earth lives through memory. And now, through you." He looked around. One final smile. Then his body scattered into blue particles, each carrying a face, a word, a moment. He returned to the archive, back on Valari Prime. The Varni's Echo entered orbit. The council awaited them, but before the crew disembarked, Threx left them with one message. "We entered the unknown to chart human territory. But what we found wasn't space, it was a story, and you cannot map a story without becoming part of it. The galaxy changed, not with weapons, but with words. Every race now whispered Earth's name again. Children grew up knowing the lullabies of a dead world. Military leaders studied Terran tactics once dismissed, and poets wrote of a species who chose extinction over silence centuries later. A monument stands at the edge of mapped space, floating above a dead star, built by hundreds of races. No guards, no warnings, only a plaque. Beyond this point, the stars remember. And if you enter, so will you. In memory of Earth, the story that couldn't be killed,